Stepbrother faked my medical reports to prevent me from going on a family trip, but then I discovered he dropped out of college and was stealing money and now has ended up in jail. Hi, the incident I'll be talking about today happened between me, 23F, and my stepbrother, 23M, let's call him Tom for the story's sake. I was adopted by my stepfather during my preteens after my biological father left my mother for someone he liked. My mother had not been in great health, so his reason was that he couldn't take her burden. After the divorce, my mom met my stepdad at the hospital, where he was treating her as a doctor. They felt a connection and soon got married. My stepfather was widowed and had a son, Tom. Tom didn't like me and my mom from the get-go. At first, both parents thought it was a reaction to a new dynamic, but Tom's behavior didn't change much over the years. He wasn't blatantly cruel to me and my mom, but he was generally distant and extremely rude. For example, we both went to the same school, but he wouldn't acknowledge me as his sister or invite me to play with his friends. Soon after their marriage, my mother fell extremely ill, and it was revealed that she was suffering from stage 4 cancer and wouldn't live much longer. It was then that my stepdad decided to adopt me so that I would have someone to call family after my mother passed away. Even at my mother's passing, Tom didn't get involved much. Instead, he planned a vacation with his friends on the day of my mother's wake, and after his father's repeated insistence and a lot of drama, he canceled it. My stepdad had been extremely nice to me throughout my childhood and never made me feel like an outsider. But he was so busy with his work that he was barely home. So, with just Tom and me together, many silly fights happened. One thing I realized about him was that he was a spoiled brat. Tom was an above-average student but couldn't get into a good college. I, on the other hand, was extremely meritorious and knew I would get into a great college. We both had plans to go to med school after graduation, with his motive being the money and my motive being to become like my stepdad. We rarely saw each other once we left for college, only during holidays with Dad. I had no contact with him outside our house, and it was during our biannual family gatherings that I found out about him splurging his time and money on partying with friends, but I didn't care. As soon as we finished our graduation, we both attempted the med school entrance exam. I got in on the first attempt, whereas Tom failed. From that point on, his dislike for me turned into jealousy. My stepdad was elated at my achievement and planned a short vacation for a week to Cambodia for me and Tom. Tom hesitated at first but agreed after Dad convinced him by assuring him that he would personally oversee Tom's progress for his next attempt. I was just excited to have some free time after so much hard work. We had our flight late in the evening, so in the afternoon, my stepdad showed up in my room, a little stressed. I asked him what was up. That's when he told me that it might not be possible for me to go on the vacation with him.